A lot of what we teach them is improvisation. Be flexible, because life hits you from different angles and you have to be able to adjust. Sometimes you may think something's going to happen, you change it up. When we got here, we didn't have the chairs, so we moved the chairs. I'm sure the church will forgive us, right? Yeah, I hope so. If not, they come twice next week. Here's the thing. We are so proud of these young men. We are so happy that you allowed us to spend 5 weeks. This will be the fifth week with your young men. It is an impressive group of people. I'm going to do a couple things first. I'm going to introduce my crew, the staff that has been with me the whole time, and it helps to teach and instruct, to guide and to mentor these young men. When I call your name, please come up here, wave, and then stand on that side if you don't mind. Tommy Leiter. Tommy Leiter is Chief Deputy over Operations. Andy Hobbs. Andy Hobbs is Chief Deputy over Administration. We've got Ronnie Rivera. Ronnie is one of our 2 neighborhood associates, specialist. Delarian Wiggins, neighborhood specialist, and also City Council member. Jeremy Small, Commander over Community Services. And in the back, hiding from everyone, is Mr. Hassan Hills, a friend of the Blazer Academy. The kids know him well. I know him well, and he's obviously a good friend of ours. All right, thank you guys. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to call them each up individually. We'll give them their certificate, take a quick picture. They'll go ahead and have a seat. And then from when we're done here, we'll march down a single file line, because they look like $1 million, right? All the way downtown, down the sidewalk, downtown to the Global Grill. Once at the Global Grill, we'll give them a gift. We'll have a meal. And then after that, you can either pick them up downtown, down that Global Grill. Please let us know, let Delarian know before you leave here. There's not a lot of room in a restaurant, so we ask that you not kind of hang around at the restaurant, because we have a section that's been cordoned off for us. And then once we get done with that, then you're free to go, or we will, and the rest that are not picked up at the restaurant, we'll go back to the sheriff's office, and we will deliver them or allow them to go home there. We won't leave anyone. They will be good. If you want to sit down, it's fine. We can take care of that. Let me tell you first about the Blazer Academy. Some of you have heard about it. Some of you, just heard about the name and don't know how it started. Well, I used to coach a lot of football when I was younger and had time to do so, and I noticed that a lot of the kids that we coached, they were better football players, better practice players than they were students. I was getting phone calls from teachers and from principals and said, hey, Junior says he only has to listen to 2 people, his mom and his football coach. I'm like, put him on the phone. Let's discuss this thing. But I also noticed that at the end of practice, I would call them up and I'd have them take a knee, and we talk a little bit about football. We talk a little bit about life. We talk a little bit about challenges and dating violence and drugs. We talk to them a lot of things. And for probably 4 minutes, they were quiet. For 4 minutes, all eyes were on me, because we didn't tolerate anything but that. They knew it was a structure. They knew there was an opportunity to talk about football, to talk about what the possibilities are with our game, but also the possibilities in life. Because you see, a lot of these kids didn't go home. They went to a friend's house, someone else's house. A lot of times we went to my house. I remember one time I had about 6 of them at my house, and we were going to a game in Gulf Breeze. All 6 of them were in my sporty minivan that we drove at the time. And as we're going over the bridge to Gulf Breeze, I looked in my rearview mirror and I saw a couple of them with their head down. Like, oh no, my players are sick. Now what am I going to do? And I said, what's wrong with him? And one of the kids leaned over and says, Coach, he's fine. He has never been over a bridge this big before. Never been over a bridge this big before. So the thought was, all this stuff kind of got into my head when I became the police chief, and then I became the sheriff, was, you know what if I can duplicate that? What if I can take the kids in this age group, 13, 14, 15-year-olds, and give them some advice. Let's talk to them. Let's mentor them and say, hey, this is what we're seeing on the streets. Because we have a unique perspective. We're not taking away a parent's opportunity. We're not substituting anything for a parent or a grandparent or anything like that. But we can do something. We can help. We can give them something that is very special. And what that is time. We can let them have the opportunity to ask us questions. We can talk to them about dating violence. We can talk to them about the peer pressure. We can talk to them about a number of different things. Now, we stay clear of politics. We stay clear of a lot of religion. not all religion, because I'm a believer. But we did stay clear of some things, but we were unapologetic about other things. Unapologetic is that this is how you treat a lady. This is how you treat an individual that you talk to. This is how you treat an adult. Those things. We didn't tolerate no for an answer. A lot of your kids came to us and had never spoken, or it seems like they'd never spoken to a larger group. And nothing's harder than speaking to a group of your peers, speaking to a group of your friends who are laughing at everything you say. So we have what we call podium time. And I'd call them up to the podium, much like this, and we'd ask them questions. Who are their heroes? Who's relying on them? Who can count on them? What's the most powerful moment in their life? These aren't easy questions, but they're questions that made them think for a second. Think about where they are, what their place is in this community, in this world. Last week I spent a lot of time. All my guys will tell me, too much time. But last week I spent a lot of time. I went to each one of these kids, these young men. I shook their hand and I said, you are going to make a mark in this world. You're going to make a mark on this world. I went to each and every one of them. And at the end of it, I said, now you can never say no one's told you can accomplish something. Because at least for this moment, someone told you, some of this not even in your family has told you can accomplish something. You can make your mark in this community. I know that because I've talked to them. I know that because I heard them. I heard them get up at the podium and talk about their family, to talk a little bit about their life, about their ambitions. Some of them were profound. I want to make something in my life. I want to be known. I want a college degree. Some of them not so much. I want a car. I want a bike. I want my sister to leave me alone. All the things that you would expect someone to say. And we allow them to joke a little bit. We allow them to talk a little bit. But they didn't leave the podium until they thought differently than school. Because you can get a lot of stuff at school, you can. What we wanted to talk about was, I mentioned a second ago, the power of moments. How much power can one moment make? My friend Hassan Hills back here, I talked about, we had a whole session about Hassan Hills. If you don't know Hassan Hills, you should know him. Go and shake his hand. Not because he's a preacher, not because he's never been in trouble before. Quite the contrary. Hassan, if you don't mind me going over it again, Hassan had, when I say checkered past, a checkered past. If anyone knows about Hassan Hill's checkered past, I do. Because yesterday he sent a picture, a copy, of one of the early arrest reports. Suspect's name, Hassan Hills. Law enforcement officer's name, Chip Simmons. What year was that, Hassan? 1994. I don't have time to get into it too much right now, but I can tell you this. All of the kids came up and had talked about this cautionary tale known as Hassan Hills. That he didn't set out to become a bad guy, a drug dealer. Certainly didn't set out to get in trouble. But things happen. But you learn from those things. I don't think you're going to get that from a school. But you are going to get that perspective at our Blazer Academy. And it's very important. So last thing I'll tell you is this, because my friends always tell me I talk too much. But there's two microphones and got to give them equal billing. So our community is in good hands. Regardless of your political affiliation, our community is in good hands because of those young men over there. You know, there's a lot of talk about, oh my gosh, the greatest generation. And I think that's true. We have a greater generation than mine. Those that fought in World War II were a greater generation than mine. Those who fought in Vietnam were a greater generation, in my opinion, than mine. My father and grandfather did greater things than I did. But then we start talking, oh my gosh, then we downplay how the wherewithal, the passion of our young kids. And I can't tell you I can tell you that's not true. There's a passion over there. There's a future over there. Regardless of one bad day or one bad moment. All right, last thing I'll tell you is this. The really last thing I'll tell you is this. We're going to give them a gift over at Global Grill. It's not a diamond ring. It's not $1 million. I wish I could. But it's a gift. It's symbolic. I have a small pocket watch at my house. I didn't bring it with me today. I love this pocket watch because to me it symbolizes what A grandfather would tell an advice of some sort. Oh, this is passed down from generation. Knowledge is passed down from generation to generation. Wisdom is passed down from generation to generation. Here's the sad part. I pretend it's from my grandfather. It's not. I pretend it's from someone that passed down information to me, but it is not. The truth of the matter is I bought it myself because I liked it, because I wanted it, and because I thought it was cool. So every male that leaves this Blazer Academy gets a pocket watch. Are they going to wear it to school? Are they going to bring it to school? Maybe. One of these days, though, they'll think about it and look at it, and they'll remember a lesson that they learned. At least that's the hope. Thank you all for being with us, and we're going to get started. I do need to say thank you to First Baptist Church. If there's anyone up here, I really do appreciate it. Let's give them a round of applause for making their building available to us. We normally do this at the Sanger. I don't know. They got they booked something else without checking with me. So, but First Baptist Church was very kind, and obviously they allow us to do what we need to do. So we're going to pass out these certificates, these diplomas, to these fine young men. And I got one of them that wants to say a word to you, so he'll take the microphone. He'll say a word or two, and then we will walk proudly all the way down to Global Grow. Single file line, looking like $1 million, proud to be graduates of the Sheriff's Blazer Academy. So let's get started. We have one more thing. There's a presentation up, assume it's going to be on the screen here. Just give you an idea of some of the things that took place at the Blazer Academy, and we'll do that, and then we'll start to announce the graduates. So go ahead and cue that footage. There's so many pictures that were taken, so many good things that took place. We couldn't capture it all. We'll give you an idea, a little bit of essence. I do want to say one thing, that we have an alumni of the Blazer Academy here, Mr. Davey. Davey, stand up for me, please. Look at that. Look at that. Dave was in our very first Blazer Academy, and while he's filled out a little bit, his shirt still fits him, and he proudly wears that tie and that stuff that he's given to him. So thank you, Davey. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Also, you notice Loyalty Credit Union was here. Loyalty Credit Union, when we go over to the restaurant, has a gift for the kids as well. They sponsored the Blazer Academy, and if it weren't for sponsorships like that, and for seized drug money, quite frankly, and the Escambia County Sheriff Foundation, then we wouldn't be able to do this, because this is not the cheapest program. But we want to do. I want to make sure that they knew that it's okay to be exceptional, and that's what this program is. So I'm going to turn this microphone over to someone's going to. There you go, to Delarian.
Thanks, Sheriff. All right. At this time, we'll start calling the graduates up. Mr. DeMarcus America. Mr. Javari Bethia. And parents, please feel free to come up and take a photo if you want to as well. Eric Bryant. David Durant. Savon Gray. Dylan Harrison. Santiago Herrera. You got it? All right. Jermichael Jeter. Cameron McCormick. Zachary Mitchell. Rex Moak. Caleb Morgan. Louis Sellers. Braxton Southern. Cameron Taylor. Joshua Vogel. Javon Washington. Jaden West. Zachary Wembley. Thomas Youngblood.
Every class we have one student that kind of wants to say something about the class itself, wants to say something about how potentially what they learned, what the friendships that they made. We had Davey in a couple classes, and we've called him back several times. This time we have Louis Sellers. Want to come up here for a second? I'm not sure how much you know how hard it is for him to come up here and say, hey, no matter what he says, unless it's something bad about me. It's difficult, but I'm telling you what, this is one fine young man, and he just wants to share a thought or two.
Good evening. My name is Louis Sellers, and I'm up here to talk about my time in the Sheriff Laser Academy. These past 5 weeks, we've been taught how to act like men. The first week I missed, but they were learning about having a nice, tight handshake and how you should reply with, like, good, how are you, if they ask you how you're doing. The second week, we talked about elevated pitches and how we should always have at least one thing on our mind that we can talk about for at least 2 minutes if we got asked on the spot. Next, we moved on to legacy. Our legacy is something that is around after we're gone and things that people we know in our life will think of us once we're gone. It should be bigger than just being the fastest or like having world records, but it should be how you acted around people you love. Then we talked about first impressions. Sometimes in life you can't choose what situation you're in, but we talked about how you should be able to overcome it. And your first impression should always be a good one. And I personally want to congratulate Andy Hobbs for the leadership he's given me in this academy. He helped me be more confident and also put myself out there. He's the reason that I gave this speech today. Thank you.
That's why we do it. That's why we do it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and conclude this right here. They're going to march back out on the sidewalk, and if you want, you can drive down, you can kind of see us marching down there. And then we're going to Global Grill. They'll be with us the whole time. And again, if you want to pick them up from Global Grill, please let Delarian know. And then if not, we'll take them back to the sheriff's office. There are some places downtown. If you want to kind of try to get you a meal at Global Grill, you can. But again, we're in a smaller area, so you probably won't be in our area. There's a number of restaurants up and down Palafox if you're not used to it. Thank you very much because it means a lot to them. I know that when they hear the cheers from their loved ones, it means a lot, and it means a lot to us as well. So thank you very much.